All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I'm actually going to call this one a knowledge-centered video as well because I think this is a really interesting moment, and it's definitely going to echo across a number of stocks in your trading career. All right, so we're going to look at four here. We're going to look at TLRY, CGC, MSOS, and High Tide. All right, and MSOS aside, and I'll talk about that one shortly. The other three, if you look at the charts itself, it's all actually still bullish. It is very, even this, I'm looking at what looks like a big scary candle. No one wants to lose 5%. That's not a good volume, but look, that's a healthy cool down for sure. All right, and I'll go over that in a second, right? So the tickers themselves look good, but now what's happening is the indices don't look good anymore. All right, and it's funny because I just flashed that on yesterday's video, and I even joked about it was silly that I hadn't done it in a while, right? And look, I thought S&P 500 was going to go up. All right, and I always say disagree with me and let me know if you disagree with me, right? I'm not here pretending I know it all, right? We gapped up. It opened up here, and then obviously comes all the way down here, right? And that's a bad, scary candle. So again, the question becomes, what do you think is going to be stronger? I'll tell you what I think shortly, believe me, right? But do you think the S&P 500 is going to keep going down and that's going to bring everything down with it? Or do you think that the weed sector is still strong? These candles are still healthy. We're over the key lines, this and that, and the sector will do okay? That is the question, all right? And again, I'm going to go over that on each of them. MSOS, oh man, I even asked on the Discord, like, if there was some crazy news I missed on anything. I think I saw some weird Florida headline, but again, just throw all that in the rumor pot, right? The MSOS, I'm blaming really on the S&P 500. So I'll go over all that and more. This is a good knowledge center video again, but before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. I'm actually shocked at how well these videos are doing, and I'm so grateful for all of it, because yeah, I know I'm not doing it by myself. I'm so thank you. All right, so let's get into this, and I'm going to say it one more time just in case if you fast forwarded. I'm looking at a healthy cool down chart on Tilray right now, okay? Couple things are easy to look at, all right? Yeah, I'm a little sad that we're a couple pennies under this resistance line, for sure. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. But compared to yesterday's big candle, all right, we're definitely well above 50%. I would say 50% is about this 260 number right here, right? So we actually don't even wick below or at 50%. We hold it well, all right? Again, I talked about the S&P. I'm going to talk about the good before the bad. Look, yesterday closes down here at what, 52.11 if you're looking at the box over there. This morning opens, it's the second number, right? Obviously the first number is bad because we're a lot lower, but we gap up to 52.5. We gap up over the 8 moving average. That's strength. And lo and behold, so does Tilray. Tilray gaps up to this 295 right here, and actually for most of the day, look at this, all right, because this is going to become very familiar. This is the start of today. Today's the 4th, right? Beautiful. Around 12 o'clock, all right, around middle of the day, we see it turn, all right? I'm going to come to the SPX, the S&P 500. We're looking at the 15-minute. It wasn't that same timing, all right, but you can see the beauty and the drop, right? And this is going to line up a little bit more with MSOS when we get there, right? But yeah, Tilray had it going and then started a turn, all right? So there were a couple headlines that a couple people shared on the Discord. There was talks about no more rate cuts. There was talks about the jobs numbers, I think, coming out tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. And there's kind of not good news expected, right? So, and then look, end of the day, I always call Friday a loser day. All right. A lot of people don't like to hold over the weekend because crazy things can happen over the weekend, right? So, there's a couple different things brewing, right? But again, the question is, what do you think is going to win? I'll be honest with you. I have to go with the indices. All right. When I see an SPX on the daily that looks like this, look, I talked about it, right? We've been holding that 20 moving average, that orange line beautifully, all right? When we lose it, I need one more confirmation. Don't get me wrong. And I ended my Discord conversation. They keep going. I love this place. It crushes even without me. Where is it? Look, we need SPY to be around 518. I need 51.8. I need to get back to like right there, right? 51.8. Give me over the line a little bit. That's what I'm going to want to see, right? Otherwise, I'm expecting this thing to come down to 5. I'm expecting this thing to we'll see what happens, right? Like this is basically at 5. It's 5,007, right? Like 5,076. Like that's nothing. 5,000 and change is nothing, right? So, I'm worried that this MACD looks a little scary, this RSI looks a little scary, and really volume hasn't been beautiful over a while, right? And I know I'm talking a lot more about the index than the ticker itself, right? But again, to me, I think my focus goes there. So what does that mean for Tilray in my head, right? I think the easiest thing to say is I think we're coming down to the 8 moving average. I do, all right? Listen, this stock is bullish over the 8 and the 20. More importantly, stay over the 200 moving average and we're good to go. Let me just zoom out just in case you don't remember. This is not a friendly line. And we can literally look at the entire life of the stock. This is not a friendly purple line. Since the line was created somewhere right here, let me just delete this line, right? What is this thing even doing? Since it was created right here back in 2019, all right, there was only a couple month window where we were over it and then otherwise we're completely under it, right? So I am actually okay doing this one more time. I'm okay going up. I'm actually okay coming back down if we need. Hopefully, let me zoom in. Let me zoom in right here. Hopefully two things happen, all right? Hopefully the 20 moving average does the job and instead of falling like that, it goes up. All right. Now, look, the 20 failed right there. The 20 failed right there. Got me a little bit worried. I can't lie to you, right? We had a couple good uptrends and it failed, right? We had a nice uptrend. It failed, right? And you could even say it failed right there and just kind of made its way back on up. So 20 is not doing as beautifully as I would hope. But sorry, this was the point I was trying to make. If we go up, if we come down, bounce and go, that's big. All right. And again, look, I don't think we're going below 2, right? I know no one wants to come back down to 217, but I could see 220 maybe being a realistic maybe. I could see this right here, this 230 being a good line. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm going to move this here. I'm going to move that here. I'm going to delete this. Well, the 8's still going up. Let me look between those two lines. Give me a sec real quick. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna delete this line because I've moved the other one up. So now I'm gonna account for this. And then really I don't think we need this line anymore because at that point we've got moving averages that we're talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. Okay. I think if we were to come down, I think 230 makes a decent amount of sense to me. All right. Now look, maybe 250 will be able to hold it. Maybe, what is that? Yeah, look, the top of this guy right here in December is kind of half of this guy right here and the bottom of this guy. Maybe this 240 is a little bit stronger. Maybe that's the line instead of this 230. Again, you know I'm not here for perfect. I'm here for good enough. And good enough is a beautiful thing, I promise you. All right. So maybe 230, 240 saves it. All right. Otherwise, there's a decent chance that we lose the 8 and we come down to either the 20 or the 200. All right. And as long as we can hit that and rebounce, that could be the big thing. And again, I'm really saying that because of the S&P 500, because the DJ30, right? Like those two both look a little too scary for me to just kind of blindly say weed's going to do well. All right. So that really is the echo across the rest of these. We'll talk about MSOS shortly, obviously, and that seems like a little bit of a different outlier. High tide in itself is a little bit of an outlier as well too, right? But hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Again, I am 100% bullish as low as 209 for real. I know no one wants to go from 270 to 209. Yo, 209 is still bullish. Stay over the purple line. Let it do its job. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Let's come into CGC. Interesting little doji here. All right. Interesting little doji. All right. So really quickly, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share. And I have to say thank you so much. The views have been crazy. And I know it's not just because of me. So thank you for all the help doing that. I'm going to echo a lot of the things I just said on the tilray video, so I do apologize if you're watching both, okay? And I'm going to do my best to say it good enough if you've never heard it, but not like repeat it and run another 10 minutes, okay? There are points, because right now there is one specifically on these weed stocks. This will happen across every single sector, all right? You're going to see some sectors just crush it, all right? Crush it. And believe me, sector strength means a lot, all right? It does. But there are moments when all of a sudden the indices, this is the S&P 500, all right? This is the Dow Jones, DJ30, Dow Jones Industrial. They both look ugly. They both look horrible. Let's just say like those are not good. MACD, RSI, volume, and candle across both of those look bad. Look, I don't look at NASDAQ. We're talking about weed here, right? Like these are things that are grown on a farm and sold in a brick and mortar store. There's no e-commerce and there's no technology, right? So NASDAQ don't look pretty either, even if you want to look at that, right? So to me, I'm always going to put more value on the indice than the sector. All right. To me, the indices are the big ocean that all the sectors are swimming on. And hey, the Titanic sank because of an iceberg. Right. And believe me, the sea don't care how good the boat is. So that's really what I sincerely believe. And to me, I'm expecting some pullbacks from bad sectors for sure, and then even good ones. All right. With this CGC chart specifically, look, today is a good candle. Today, if the S&P did well, I would say healthy, cool down. I'm still expecting more. All right, that is what I would do. I now have to say, okay, I think the indices are going to win. My first expectation is this is going to come down to 860. All right, if we lose 860. I think all of a sudden, I'm going to move this line up real quick. I think we got to talk about, yeah, that's not bad. 645, 646 is what that number is, right? But I could see us going from there to there. Again, look, dropping from 9 and change to 6 and change, that's actually a 33% drop, right? So you can use that to your advantage in a lot of ways. You at least, and look, I'm not, this could be wrong, right? But I'm here setting expectations. If I'm right, I attack. If I'm wrong, I adjust, right? But yeah, if the indices drag it down, I think this makes a lot of sense to me. I am 100% bullish as low as 570. All right. Again, if you fall from 9 something, almost 10 to 5 something, that's close to a 50% drop, right? So I'm using the word I'm bullish very strongly, but hey, I'm not pretending that's a bad drop that no one wants to see, right? So again, use that to your advantage, or hey, at least get ready for it and don't be blindsided by it, right? Yeah, that's just at least my opinion, right? So yeah, I believe this looks like a good chart. I believe that any given day that this would have held the 70, I think things are going to come down, and I think it's going to have absolutely nothing to do with the weed sector itself. All right. Let's look at the weekly. I don't even know if I looked at the weekly on the other one, right? But I still like this. And look, I think this 646 almost lines up beautifully with this 50 moving average. As much, you know what? I think that's a better sentence. I think I'm wildly bullish over this weekly number. All right. Don't get me wrong. The daily is still telling me that 570 is good. And I'm actually not here saying that that's an incorrect statement. But I think the weekly number is a lot better. I think, look, again, no one wants to go from 9 to 3. I mean, sorry, from 9 to 6, lose 33, lose that 3, right? But yeah, I think that's a decent, let's at least hold the 50 on the weekly, because we haven't done that in a very, 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 very long time. Let's go up, let's come down, let's take off, right? That could be a beautiful thing. I think that's a good place to end CGC at, actually. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions again. That's a good, healthy candle. It held the line. It did so much good. Those three indices and those candles, oh man, I gotta give the weight. You know what I mean? So let me know if you disagree. I'm not here pretending to know it all, right? So I appreciate you so much. One more time, I want to talk about high tide before I go into MSOS. And oh man, there is, okay, the same echoing comment still is here for sure. But there are a couple different things on this one that are pretty interesting. All right, so two things really quickly. If you can please subscribe, if you can please share, it does wonders. All right, and I know for a fact people have been, because the views have been crazy, and I'm wildly grateful for that. So thank you. All right, so excuse me. Let's get into this. So I 100% believe everything I've been saying about the other ones applies to this, all right? And just in case you fast forwarded to here, look, S&P 500 does not look good. We went from a beautiful gap up this morning over the 8 moving average all the way to a close below the 8 and the 20. The first time we lost that line, my goodness, since basically this, right? Since 2023, October. Okay, you definitely need more than one candle. Don't get me wrong. And hey, maybe I'm over assuming on a single one, but this is echoed by the Dow Jones, which has actually already lost the 20 and is down to the 50. All right, so that's a little bit more extreme. And I always say it, when I'm talking about weed, I don't look at NASDAQ. All right, we're talking about growing things from the ground in a seed to selling things in a brick and mortar store. Like technology is there. I know like grow lights are getting better and this and that and all of that. But yeah, we're talking about fundamental farming here, right? So I care way more about Dow Jones. I care way more about the S&P 500. Yeah, High Tide is definitely a Canadian company, but look, when I type in High Tide, this is a NASDAQ listed stock. There's no High Tide G that's going to take me down to a pink or something, right? Like this is in the NASDAQ, and NASDAQ's going to follow what the indices do. And for me, as bullish as this is, and man, I haven't gotten to why even today was, we gap up to 281. Get out of here, like, goodness, right? Like obviously my line is a little bit higher, but we came to this peak. I always say the gap fill border is really hard, and hey, maybe I should have probably accounted for that, but literally we came to that resistance right there. And oh my goodness, I think I would have been right if the markets didn't get ugly, and man, we might have turned red into maybe a little closer to 3. But regardless, that's just maybes, right? Like we're talking about realities of the close of the regular market, right? The gap up comes down, but obviously we're still over resistance. We're still well over 50% of yesterday, and we don't even wick below it. And actually, this is what I love. It's funny. I assumed I deleted this line. We are still crushing volume. Listen, as excited as I was that yesterday was the biggest volume in history, I promise you, I am just as excited that today was number 2. All right, like when volume is holding, like that is. I'm expecting this to come down, all right? I really think this is coming to 243. I even believe maybe even 230. I think 230 is a fair number because I still think the 8's going to come up, maybe even to that by Monday, give or take. I think 230 is realistic, okay? Even though I think we're coming down, I can't stress how good it is that we're holding, all right? Yesterday was basically 3 and change. Today is 3 and change. We didn't drop, we barely dropped 10%. Like I'm doing bad math in my head right now, I even think, right? Like this is amazing right here. And it's good, okay? This is going to come down, and I do believe it is because of the things that I said earlier, right? I saw a post this morning from Raj that said that they opened another dispensary in the fastest growing Providence? I don't think you guys call them states up there. Oh, I'm going to look real dumb and get corrected, I'm sure. I obviously don't, I'm assuming that's an accurate fact. Let me know if that is a true fact, if it actually is the fastest growing one. I don't even want to say it. I think I know which one it is, but again, I don't want to get made fun of, right? But yeah, there are good things happening, and this is where you got to decide. Is the strength of the sector and the strength of the stock better than the indices? I always vote no. I do. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you so much. Let's get into MSOS. And MSOS, I can't tell you. I even like, I saw it right at market close because I knew I was going to cover it one more time, and I had absolutely no idea. And I assumed that there was some news or something. I want to show this. Look at this 15-minute. I'm so sorry. If you can please subscribe and please share. It does amazing things for the algorithms. And I can tell so many people are sharing because I'm getting crazy views, and it's not because of me. It's actually because of you. So thank you. All right. So this is the 15-minute chart on MSOS. Today is the 4th. All right. And it's beautiful until 1 p.m. All right. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 15-minute chart. It's holding. It actually gaps up, right? It's holding the gap around 1 p.m. we drop, all right? Let's take a look at the Dow Jones, DJ30, all right? It gaps up. It's holding around 1 p.m. we start dropping. MSOS. This is why I think it's a little easy to believe what I believe. I do believe that the indices matter more than any. This ETF is composed of a number of stocks, right? ETFs are supposed to be the balance, right? And the market can take down a bunch of stocks like an ETF, like a single ETF, right? So this sucks. I don't know what else to say, right? It looked like we were ready to destroy this 1050 line. Man, we were ready to kiss 11 and go. Green, red. We got to that, right? Like this thing was ready, and there was no reason to put a line right there. The market took it down at 1 o'clock, and it's just one of those things. And it's why I just, look, let's see if we can hold that 9 right there. It's the 50 moving average and the 20, right? If that doesn't hold, I do think that 850 could be realistic, all right? Overall, I just need the market to improve, and then this will recover, or hey, maybe we get some news, right? But yeah, I'm still bullish on the sector, but I'm not blind to the indices. Oh, that's a beautiful phrase. That's probably going to be the catchphrase for this video on the thumbnail, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Let me know if I missed any news, but hey, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you.